So what are the official picks for this game?
Eagles, Falcons. Right now, Eagles are 5.5-point favorite. Game is in Philly. A.J. Brown is out for this game. Dylan, can Kirk Cousins get it done on Monday Night Football and have a bounce-back spot here?
High on the Falcons coming into the year. The first game against the Steelers was not reassuring. Kirk was telegraphing passes. He didn't look very comfortable, and he was really only working through one read. Not something you like to see. Add that on top of the fact that the Eagles have the extended break here. I don't want to take a side. I lean Falcons.
I like the Falcons here. I think the Falcons are going to keep it close. I think they lose on a game-winning field goal. I think it's a 3-point game. They're going to cover the number, but this is going to be – Kirk Cousins is going to be fine. The Falcons are going to be fine. I think we're going to see a big game out of Baughan Robinson. Can we finally see the Baughan Robinson coming out party? It should happen against this Eagles defense. You mentioned the receiving yards to running backs. Baughan Robinson, they were getting him in action constantly on these checkdowns and screen passes last week against the Steelers, against a defense that was blitzing them like crazy. Dump it off to Baughan, let him go, yards after the catch. He's going to be able to do that all night on this Eagles defense. It's just a matter of, okay, can the Falcons get stops on the Eagles offense? I think they can without A.J. Brown. They're going to be running the ball a lot in Philadelphia. I like the Eagles to barely get it done here, 24-21.
I've been on the Philly train all year, guys. All preseason. I'm sticking with them. What, 5.5 right now?
Yeah.
5.5 right now. I like the Eagles tomorrow night. Nothing I saw from Kirk Cousins in this Falcons team led me to have any confidence in them. Nothing.
Which is
it
fair.
wasn't even just because they lost to the Steelers. It's how they looked while doing it. It's how Kirk Cousins looked and his lack of movement, his lack of trust in that Achilles, planning off throwing the ball. And we've touched on it, and you guys have conceded that point. I think that's my whole analysis, is that I don't trust this Falcons team. And even with A.J. Brown out, the Eagles' weapons have enough. Like, Saquon Barkley is the best back. You know, he's obviously better than the backs that the Falcons played last week. Saquon Barkley is going to have a nice game. And even with A.J. Brown out, I think Devonta Smith, his receiving yards line, 70.5. It's not enough. George Pickens had 6 for 85 on this Falcons secondary last week with Justin Fields as his quarterback. I think Devonta Smith is going to be getting the targets for sure. I like him to go over 70.5 yards if you want to prop. Best bet, Devonta Smith over 70.5 receiving yards. I will lean Eagles minus 5.5 and probably end up taking it.
I am going to give a prop, and I think you guys will like this one.
Baughan Robinson.
No. Tyler Algier over a half of a receiving yard. Over one half.
I kind of love that.
You can talk me into that.
The Eagles allowed 32 receiving yards per game last season to running backs. The Eagles put up the 7th worst tackling grade last week against the Packers. Last season, Algier nearly averaged 12 yards after catch per reception, forced 5 missed tackles while receiving, and has a 0% career drop rate. The opportunity just has to be there. He didn't have it last week. This Steelers defense is one of the best in the league. This Eagles defense is not. Over half of receiving yard. I also think the Falcons win this game.
I'm going squares, all get out. Just chalk me up. Baughan Robinson, anytime touchdown. I'm going to run one in. It's the chalkiest play on the board. Chalk. I mean, I've got chalk dust everywhere because that is the chalkiest play on the board.